Have you ever felt like you had the skill and potential to definitely be on the next rank, but for some reason you just can't seem to get it? Stay tuned for the next few minutes and we're going to talk about how you can fix that with just a handful of tips. So before we get started, I feel like I always need to do this because a lot of people will go to the comments and question my credibility. So first off, the reason you should be able to trust my information is because I'm a 2-time Apex Predator, 1-time Master, and then I retired for Apex Legends as a semi-pro to go into coaching and YouTube part-time. And one of my greatest moments as a coach for Apex Legends was actually being able to coach an ex-military veteran and being able to help him get some more badges and also being able to get out of Platinum into Diamond. And he still to this day will message me every now and then showing me his progress. And it's a lot more enjoyable as a coach now that I'm married and now that I have a full-time job and doing YouTube part-time. It's a lot easier to be a coach as well rather than trying to grind 40 hours a week playing this game. Also, I should mention that at the time of this video, I'm actually currently live right now on twitch.tv/JMeyels. There'll be a link down in the description if you guys want to come watch me play some Apex Legends. And join the Discord community down in the description below if you guys want to participate today in a Apex Legends meme tournament for 1,000 Apex coins. It'll be happening at about 3 o'clock Eastern time today. So just join in the Discord and I'll give you guys some more details for some Apex Legends coin giveaway. So we're going to cover about 5 tips today that I think will really help you guys go from one rank to the next. And not only that, but learning how to constantly make progress rather than just going up and down all the time in your rank. So my first tip is like 2 tips into one. And that is, first off, play with friends if they're available. If friends are not available and you can't have a full squad, this is going to be a really difficult one for you to do. But when you solo queue, learn how to follow your teammates. It may come natural to you to be an in-game leader and want to call the shots, and you may know what's best for your team to do. But if your teammates are not listening, don't get mad and throw a fit and say, this is the reason I'm not ranking up, and then you leave the game, you get a really big penalty, you lose a lot of RP, and then you get off and you don't play ranked again for a while. As weird as it seems, if you have to solo queue, learn how to follow your bad teammates because you're going to have more success being together, making a bad positional move by their part, rather than making a good positional move by yourself being apart from your teammates. The only other situation I would disagree is if you already have like 5 kills, 4 kills, maybe even 3 kills or 3 KP, and you want to leave your teammates for good positioning if they're not listening. That way you can just kind of hide and be in the shadows and get that top 5 placement to get that extra multiplier. But if you don't have kills and you really need kills, you really need to be with your teammates even if they're not listening to you. But the best way to avoid all of that entirely is just simply be in a Discord server where you guys can find friends to play with all the time that are going to listen, that you can chat with and talk to and communicate with. And there's plenty of servers out there for you. Battlecore is a really good one that has a lot of competitive players. You guys can also join my Discord server, especially with crossplay coming soon. It's going to be a lot easier to find players to play with and grind ranked with. Moving on to the second tip, this is not a necessity, but if you guys really want to learn how to play like a next level player, I really would encourage you to do this. So there's a few legends that you really just don't need to be using. Most legends are pretty good now. You guys can really make them work in your ranked game, but there's a few legends I really would just kindly ask you guys to stay away from. And it's not that you can't make them work in your level, but when you get to the next level, that person may be so much harder to use that you're going to have to learn how to play someone else when you get to that next rank. Some of you may get mad at me, but those 2 legends are Rampart and Loba. Now, Rampart is a little bit less so because she definitely can be used, but Loba for sure you should not be using because Loba is just absolutely terrible for ranked and not really that good of a legend at all. So when you learn how to use these right legends, also run good combos. Work with people that you know are good together. For instance, Bloodhound and Bangalore are a really great combination, and Bloodhound in general is a great legend to use anyways because you get that assist whenever you actually scan someone, and it's really easy to get KP off the start of the game, especially when your teammates are getting those kills for you. And kind of the same thing with Crypto. Similar with the same legend combos, also use good weapon combos. Don't always think about the situation you're currently in, but think about the situation you're going to be in about 2.5 minutes. I see so many people make the mistake of loving the wingman and then dropping like an R301 to pick up a Kraber and rock the Kraber wingman. I know you probably love using that combo and those guns are fun to use, but when you're playing ranked, you may trust yourself, but a lot of times I see people that say, oh, I trust myself, or oh, I'll make it work. And then when they get into a very close situation where someone pushes them, they don't really have good weapons to use. When they pull out the wingman because they trust themselves, they start choking every shot and let their teammates down. Stop being that person and do the right thing. I generally like to rock weapons that do 2 entirely different damages. So like an R301 and a Mastiff, an R301 and a wingman, a Volt and a Mastiff, maybe even a triple take and an R301. That's what I usually like to rock in ranked. And that's going to lead me into my next point. Stop trying to drop 20 bombs in ranked. Play slow lower and use your snipers. Snipers are so incredible to use because you can do so much damage from so far away, maybe get some assist, also third-party people from very far away, so you can keep your good positioning while you're also super far away and doing a lot of damage. Using your snipers effectively is not always about getting the kill, but rather making someone else's game harder, maybe even getting other teams killed by third-partying them from super far away. And lastly, I want to talk about what good positioning actually means. A lot of people say that they're in a good position or they're trying to get good positioning, and in reality, they're not getting good positioning. They just think they are. So there's a few ways you know you're in a good position. Number one, good visibility. Number two, limited possibilities for surprise attacks. Number three, how deep you are into the zone. And lastly, how many teams are you in the middle of? You have to learn how to find a balance between being deep in the middle of the zone and thinking you're in a good positioning, and also look at the fact that you're in the middle of like 6 teams that might want the same positioning. So you might be in the dead middle of a huge fight that's coming after you. Just because you have the high ground in the middle of the zone doesn't mean you have good positioning. A lot of times it's better to have a little house that no one's going to check on the outside of the ring, because no teams are going to focus on you, and you're going to be able to probably rotate into the next ring a lot easier without anyone looking for you. And when people do decide to collapse on that team in the middle that's holding the high ground, you will probably have a more likely chance to win a third party out of that and take over that positioning with less teams. And then ways you can limit the amount of possibility of surprise attacks is number one, staying outside of the zone and letting the ring come to you and just playing the edge of the ring. That way you can assure that no one's rotating in from behind you, and you can cut off that factor because they're not going to rotate all the way through the ring unless it's a very small sliver of the ring that they're going to have to go through. And then also, when you're holding a high ground position, don't choose a massive mountain or a massive land area to where people can come from so many different angles to surprise attack you. Hold a compact area that has a lot more cover and it's a lot less entry points. If you combine all these things together, I definitely think you will make it to the next rank and the next rank and the next rank and eventually reach Master. Now, the only difference between Master and Apex Predator is time. Sometimes I have more respect for Masters than I do Apex Predators, and the reason being is because a lot of these Master players are really good. They just don't put as much time into Apex because maybe they think it's boring, maybe they just don't have as much fun with it as they used to, kind of like me. But the thing with Apex Predators is most of them not trying to be funny or not trying to knock anyone, but a lot of them probably don't have jobs. They're either in school or maybe they do Apex for a job, and they just simply have a lot more time on their hands than a lot of other people do. I would say about half of the Masters have just as much skill as the Apex Predators. The Apex Predators just simply grind harder and play more hours throughout the day. But that's going to be it for today's video. I promise you guys, if you practice these tips effectively, you will rank up to your next rank, and just put in more hours, put in more time if you guys want to continually rank up and make it even to Master someday. A lot of you may even be Masters and you're trying to get Apex Predator. All you need to do is put in more time. That's the biggest challenge with this game. So if you guys enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed the tips, make sure to click the like button, subscribe to the channel for some more Apex Legends content like this, and I will see you all in the next one. It's Viber only positivity. Make sure to join the Discord down below if you guys do want to have some like-minded people to chat with, maybe even play some ranked with. And also, if you want to compete in that Apex Legends meme tournament for 1,000 Apex coins down in the Discord, make sure to join the Discord and I will let you guys know exactly when we're going to start. Basically, the format of it is going to be identical to what we had months and months ago when I did my very first meme tournament. Is you guys are just going to bring me your Apex Legends best memes. I'm going to create a bracket and then I'll tell you guys when to send it to me. Whoever has the best one will move on to the next round. The very best one to win the whole tournament will win the Apex coins. But that's going to be it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day and peace.